Have you ever meditated before?
No.
Okay, so anything that's on your mind that you feel that's blocking you or holding you back, we're gonna release it right here, right now. We're gonna breathe in 3 times. Big, deep breaths, and release everything, all the bullshit. Ready? Let's go. Exhale. Breathe in. Exhale. One last time. This is for everything that we need. You ready? Breathe in. Exhale. You are now tapped in to entertainment therapy with King Envy. You ready?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so entertainment therapy, we're all in entertainment. We all face a lot of things. We have traumas, and sometimes a lot of us bury it with our craft.
Right.
But instead of burying it, we're supposed to face it and release it with our craft. We're supposed to get through it. So that's what we're about to do. Here on Entertainment Therapy, I am healing anybody in entertainment, whether you're a rapper, you're an artist, you're a celebrity, whatever you got going on. Come to me, I'm gonna heal you so you can reach that pinnacle that you need and live out your true purpose.
That's right.
Doo-doo.
Hey.
Hey, what's up, baby? You ready? Let's get into it.
Right.
How you feeling, Envy?
I'm feeling good. How you feeling?
How do you feel? I feel actually amazing, but how do you feel after the meditation?
Oh, yeah, I feel like a sense of relief. I feel open. I feel free.
Do you really?
I really do.
Okay, so I know you had a little hiccup at the beginning with the breathing,
Yeah,
like.
you know, I can't hold my breath too long.
But I think that's because you probably never focused and realized how much power you have in controlling, like, just breathing, just alone. It's the simplest things in life that we don't realize is the most powerful things. Like, just if you were to, like, try after this, every day when you wake up, even like 2 minutes, 5 minutes, just breathing in and letting it go, you'll be able to mentally control the rest of your day.
It makes a big difference.
Yeah. So let's talk about it, Envy. Growing up in Inglewood, California.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, shit. Growing up in Inglewood, you know, it's like the inner city. You learn a lot and you grow pretty fast. You know what I'm saying? You know, you're surrounded by a fast life. You know, I went through a lot of shit coming up in Inglewood. I went to school there. I was born and raised there. You know, Crenshaw and Imperial area. And, you know, just like my peers and people that I grew up with, came up with, you know, we all learn from each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all use each other as examples. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my friends is still there. A lot of them moved on. Right. A lot of them are gone. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's pretty tough. But I feel like the city of champions and make champions.
It definitely does. Inglewood got a lot of dope, talented artists, and you just happen to be one of them. So I want to talk about like your upbringing. Like, who was your most influential people as far as who raised you?
Honestly, I would say my mom for sure, and my uncles. So my uncles, you know, they played the father figures in my life. But yeah, it was really just my uncles, my grandmother, and my mom.
Wow. So what are some fundamental things that you think they did teach you? And then I want to go into the fact that how is it being raised by women and not really having the ultimate father figure raise you?
I think being raised by women, not necessarily saying that like, you know, you're not tough or nothing like that. Right. I feel like it makes you a little sensitive sometimes, you know what I'm saying? You a little more caring, you know what I'm saying? It's just a little different. My uncles, they played their part. And, you know, I felt like it was a good balance of both, you know, not having a father or whatever like that. I feel like my uncle stepped in, they played a big role in my life to help me get where I am right now. Did you ever know your real father? Nah, actually, I never even seen a picture of him or met him until I was 19, and it was Christmas Day. Okay. Yeah, so I seen him for the first time when I was 19. What was that like feeling like inside, knowing every day you wake up and you know, like, I have a father out there somewhere and you could possibly walk past this person and you don't know who they are, and then you see a picture of them? I used to think about it all the time. I used to, you know, always wonder what he looked like, you know what I'm saying, where is he? But it only crossed my mind every once in a while, you know, Father's Day, you know shit like that. I was never sensitive about it, but I was always curious to know who he was, you know what I mean? Because in my family, I'm probably the only one that's mixed in my family, you know what I'm saying? So when I met him, it was an emotional moment, you know what I'm saying? It was pretty tough because, you know, you're like meeting your other half, somebody you've never seen, you know what I mean? Right. So it just hit me a little different. And even after I met him, the connection wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? It's just too much distance in between. So, you know.
Like for you, because you know, it's a lot of young men out there, whether they're artists, whatever it is, it's a lot of young men that grow up without fathers. What is some advice that you can tell for them, like how to cope with it? Because now you probably go through life, you probably didn't realize that it was always a missing piece.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what is some advice that you can give people out there that grow up with a single parent?
I feel like first thing you gotta know is just because you're missing a father or a mother, whatever it is, you gotta understand that that's just a part of becoming strong. It makes you strong because you kind of gotta learn from the outside world. They gotta kind of teach you more of what you were missing. You know what I'm saying? So what you can't learn from your mother, your father that's absent, I feel like you turn to, you know, the world, the outside world, and you just damn near you let not just the streets raise you, but just like whoever's around you, you know, aunties and uncles, they step in.
Right.
And it's all about just teaching you values, you know what I'm saying? The label father or mother, you know, that's just a label, but you know, there's plenty of people out here that were raised by their aunties and uncles. Right. Stepped in and they look at them, you know, the same way.
You know what, no matter who you're raised by, it's just a lot of things that how we grow up is the perception that's instilled in us, because the way you were raised, the way I was raised, we all have like a different viewpoint of life.
Yeah,
not saying you're right or you're wrong.
Yeah.
You know, like how do you feel like that plays out into life as you have kids?
Yeah.
Like do you feel like not like having a single parent raise you, does that come into how you are with your own individual kids?
Yeah, it just teaches you that, like, you know, at an early age that not everything is going to work out the way you expect it. So I think it just teaches you early that, you know, this is how the world is. You know, some shit don't work out. Some people come from broken homes. And just because your parents are separate doesn't mean that you come from necessarily a broken home. But you just got to learn in two different environments, you know, and, you know, it's what it is.
He said it's what it is. With that being said, like, does any of this have an influence with your music? Like, what was that first ping that hit your soul? What first seed was planted to where you really start gisting to the music side?
It was when my mom used to pick me up from school, and I used to, my little brother be in the back seat, and I used to be real shy to like rap, you know, because I would like to always like write poems and shit when I was in school. Okay. So when she get out the car, she'll go in the store, I'll cut the radio up and I'll start rapping over, you know, the beats that's on the radio. Right. My little brother be in the back seat like, damn, do that again, do it again. You know, and it just like, when I started realizing I had wordplay, I just like, I could do this shit. Right. At first I didn't know I was gonna really push it, but once I realized like how talented I really was, I'm like, this could really be something, because I used to sit in my room and I used to listen to like 50 Cent, and I used to listen to old shit, you know, Sean Paul, Alicia Keys, like we came up in a different era. So when I would like listen to that type of music, being famous or being a celebrity or whatever, you know, it was a little more, how can I say? It was kind of like you got to be like a chosen one, you know what I'm saying? So to get in that position nowadays, it's like you just get on the internet, you could become famous just off a fucking video or just, you know, whatever. So I used to look at these magazines. I used to go to the grocery store, see the People magazine, Vibe magazine, Jet magazine. And I used to like, damn, one day I feel like I can be on there. One day I feel like I can do that, you know what I'm saying? And that was enough motivation for me, just seeing that, you know what I mean? Just seeing the people out there doing their thing. And it just made me want to keep going. And I recorded my first song when I was like 17. Okay. It was called Gave It My All. It was in a garage, you know. But it was my first song, and I brought it back home. I had a little CD. It had Gave It My All on there. My whole family playing it, and before you know it, kind of got around. Wow. And yeah, I just went from there.
I actually want to say something about your music, because you said you used to write poetry. That's the seed that was planted. Yeah. Because you've been writing poetry, and that's why your music, it's like parables. Yeah. Somebody has to really listen to what you're saying. Yeah. And to dig deep.
Yeah, I come from the soul. Like, for real, like, besides all this, like, I really do. I come from the soul. And so when I write music, I just go into a different world. Like, it's like it's me, but it's another character. You know what I mean? And it's just like a projection of just who I am. Wow. You know what I'm saying?
From 17 to writing Give It My All to now King Envy, how did you step into the game?
Shit. Like, basically, I just started giving it my all, started investing. You know what I'm saying? I started realizing like strategies that I could, I could make to pass a couple people up. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily a shortcut, but just ways to just jump ahead. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people be afraid to invest. Okay. And a lot of people, they skeptical about their own music and their sound. And they be real like, skeptical about putting music out. Me, I'm known for just throwing music out like it's charity, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the reason why I did that was because I felt like, you know what, if this is what I love to do, let me just pour it out. Let me just give it out in the beginning. Right. Once I build it up, then that's when I'll like build some anticipation. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta give out samples in order to sell the whole dish, you know what I mean?
Right. So I wanna like piggyback off of what you just said. You said you figured out a strategy to jump ahead.
Yeah.
Now, I'm listening to what you're saying, so we're gonna dig deep. So when you say jump ahead, that means you're not going through the full process.
No, I'm not.
So do you feel like in general, overall in your life and in your career right now, that because in some situations, just because you may know a way to get ahead, that it has rendered you because you didn't take the proper steps?
Yes, because you can make an investment and have a record with a big artist or whatever, but if you're not going through it with like preparation and marketing and stuff like that, then it's not gonna go nowhere. You know what I mean? Right. It might get somewhere, but it can get further if you take the correct steps. You know what I mean? So like, as I progressed and I got, better and better at the shit, I started realizing like, okay, maybe I need to slow down a little bit.
Right.
And build some anticipation. So once I started building the anticipation, I started seeing people get more and hungry for the music.
Right.
So I started realizing the value of like the music that I had. You know what I'm saying? It's something that does need to sit back and marinate for a minute.
Right.
Let people crave it.
When you say the value of your music, do you know the value of yourself?
Yes, I do.
Do you realize, like, as I'm sitting here looking at you, like, do you realize, like, your star power, like your quality of a star?
Yeah. Honestly, I'll just be blunt with you. Like, every day I wake up, I just feel like I'm God-given, like, straight up. And, it's not wrong to feel like that. Everybody should feel like that. But sometimes I feel like I'm looking at the world through my lens, you know what I'm saying? So I'm in my own movie, you know what I'm saying? And I just feel the energy.
Right.
I can feel my own energy sometimes. And other people can too. And it's just off the, my character, my introduction, you know what I'm saying? I'm a real respectful person. I'm humble.
Right.
And I feel like that just play a whole part in my energy as a whole.
With that being said, like, people may think they know you.
Yeah.
They probably think they experienced you, but we are forever evolving as people. And we are not perfect, but we're also learning.
Right.
We got the shot right now. We're here on Entertainment Therapy. Who's King Envy?
King Envy is I'm like an activist. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I really feel like when it comes down to this music, I'm like a music fucking prophet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm like a diamond in the rough.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to shine finally. You know what I'm saying? I'm just now getting polished.
Right.
And shit's starting to, really hit that level. And I can feel the elevation every day. And even when I feel I'm getting higher and higher, I still remain humble, but sometimes I excite myself.
Right.
Where I'm like, damn, nigga, you doing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I gotta tell myself you doing the shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you know what it takes for a diamond to shine? Because a diamond in the rough is a diamond.
Yeah.
Dig deep is dirty, right?
Yeah, it's dirty.
You gotta clean it, right?
You gotta clean it, you gotta polish it.
You gotta clean it and
do all
polish
that.
it.
Yeah.
So this is what you're doing right now.
And you also gotta shape it.
Come on. Everything that was from this day right here, everything that was behind you no longer serves you and no longer matters to King Envy.
Yeah.
What was said then doesn't matter now. From this point on, it's only going forward. As an artist, you guys go through a lot of different things just in life. We all face different traumas and things that we have to get through. What are some things as an artist that you have faced that has probably troubled you just being an artist or being King Envy?
Just having the name Envy by itself is, bring a lot of attention. They want to wonder why you call yourself that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And just to give you a little piece of why I named myself Envy in the first place is because I just felt like we talked about energy earlier, I carry a certain type of energy. And not only that, people want this type of energy. They want to be able to feel themselves. They want to be able to feel like they that nigga or they that woman. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I just feel like growing up, I always wanted to have the best. You know what I'm saying? Even if I had less, I always made the best of it.
Right.
And a lot of people, they just looked at me and they didn't like me for certain reasons. It might be, I don't know, the way I dress, the way I look, you know, the music I make, the opportunities I have. And like I said, I'm humble throughout all this shit, but people on the outside that's born to hate, and you know, it comes with it.
Right.
You know, I didn't expect it, but that's what comes with the world. And you know, as an artist, you gotta really be careful, because like in this generation, you know, you can't be too accessible. That's what a lot of people tell me. And in the beginning, I was making myself very accessible to like a lot of shit, because I wasn't even noticing the route and the lane I was going and the elevation, you know what I'm saying? So I had to go through shit where, you know, I had to go through plenty stages of, we're talking about robberies, you know, a lot of threats, and, you know, just people on Instagram hating, you know, comments, and so you gotta learn to just block it out.
Right.
And not just ignore it, but, you know, you can pay attention to it, but you gotta grow off of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
From like you saying you went through robberies and stuff like that, what was some things that you realized, like, this can't happen again? Like, this just can't happen again? I know you mentioned being, like, accessible, but overall, like, a robbery is a deeper thing. It's not just someone taking your belongings. You know what I mean? It's more like, you know, I know you felt some type of way. Like, you know what I mean? Somebody taking something that's a part of you. So with that being said, like, what's your process of getting through that?
I've learned that anything that's materialistic is replaceable.
Right.
Before I would really like take it to heart, and I'll be down and sick about whatever I lost. Right. But when I realized that, you know, my life is way more valuable than any piece of material. Exactly. That's when I started growing, and I started realizing, like, I still like material shit, don't get me wrong.
I think we all do.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We like material shit, but that can't be the main focus. You know what I'm saying? I'm like the most important piece of material. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, talk your shit. Moving forward, like, okay, so you faced some traumas, and you're from Inglewood. Yeah. You know what I mean? An artist from Inglewood. There's a lot of politics in this game. Yeah. Have you faced any type of street politics or allegedly allegations of doing anything?
Yeah, of course. You know, I've had allegations that are false.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. A lot of shit that's been put out on the internet, a lot of comments and shit, but it come from people that's miserable. Right. You know, it come from people that sit back and they watch your success and they envy it. Right. You know, so they don't know how else to take it but to, you know, lash out at you and just come for you. And once you ignore that, it fuels them to do it even more. Right. You know what I'm saying? Once you give in, they know that they got you.
So with that being said, I want to say something to the people. Nobody's perfect. We all gonna fuck up. We all gonna do things that is, we trying to figure it out in a lot of different ways. But we can't point the finger at one person and then not point the finger at one. What we need to do is look in the mirror at ourselves and really face our own fears. Because a lot of the people who torture or bully or do anything to other people, they cannot stand in the mirror and look at themselves because they're trying to fill in a void. And what we all need to do is learn how to heal. Like, no matter what you do in life, if you do not heal, you're just gonna be able to keep trying to damage and hurt other people, because hurt people, you know? Back to you. Back to the music. You have a lot of features with a lot of dope artists.
A lot of people.
Where is King Envy going with all of this?
Man, it's the formula. You know, I'm mixing some shit up, and you know, it's elevating me. I'm trying to take this shit to a supreme level. Right. You know what I mean? I'm not just trying to be, you know, matter of fact, I ain't even trying to be, I'm not gonna be, you know, here and gone. Right. You know, the type of music I make, my spirit, the energy I give into my music, it makes sure it's gonna last forever. It's timeless. So I'm going to the top, but you know what I'm saying? Even if I hit the top, it's still, you know, higher levels I could reach even after that. Right. It never stops. You know what I'm saying? It's cliche when people say sky is the limit, but it's a true fact, it is.
You say you want to reach heights, different levels. I take that in a spiritual term. You encountered and met Nipsey, and you spent time with him.
Yeah.
What impact did he leave on you?
Shit, you know, it's just crazy because he's like really from the street, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And back when I was, you know, hanging out with them and doing my thing, the fact that I'm around it, I don't look at it how other people did, but you know, I felt his energy. And even when he first dropped his first shit, I always tell him, like, you know, you're a legend. Yeah, every time I see him, you know you're a legend, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? And you know, I appreciate that, my nigga. You already know.
Right.
And it just like, it's inspiring, you know what I'm saying? Just to see people that come from, you know, the inner city like him, but be able to become a legend. A lot of people become known names, but to be a legend is something different. You know, it's like you really lay down a blueprint.
For the whole world.
Yeah, for the whole world.
For the entire world.
And to see the impact that he made was inspiring, because I feel that no matter who you are, you can make that same impact or maybe even better than that.
Right.
You know, you just gotta definitely put your all into it. You know, when you come from the inner city, sometimes you feel trapped. You know, you feel like you ain't got nowhere to go. You feel like this is all you know. But once you step out, once you become uncomfortable, you know what I'm saying, that's what's gonna strengthen you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to learn on your own. You're gonna have to experience shit that's gonna help you grow. And along the way, you're gonna make some mistakes. Along the way, you're gonna have a lot of shit you gotta overcome, a lot of obstacles. But as long as you keep fighting and you keep going, you could really lay down your own blueprint for the runners up.
You know, you just literally answered my next question. I was gonna ask you what are some valuable lessons and things that you've learned. Yeah. I feel like you have healed in some areas of your life because just the way you're speaking and the things you're saying. You are a good talker though, but the things that you were saying, you've healed for you to acknowledge those.
Yeah.
If there's any other areas in your life that you feel like you would need to heal from, what would it be?
Man, that's crazy. I think I need to heal from like my past, like my pressure that I have on me. Like sometimes I feel like the pressure never ends, and sometimes I feel like the pressure keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where when it starts cracking, then I can focus on healing.
I mean, healing is a forever process though. Let me tell you that. Like you just don't go one day and heal. Just like an open wound. If I cut you right now, it takes time for that to heal.
I don't think nobody actually completely heals. You know what I'm saying? I don't think so. You can be rich, you can have it all, but you still got scars. And even though it's healed, the scar's still there.
Yeah, but that's the thing about healing is accept you, accept you fully, understand the wound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And allow that wound to heal on its own, but you got to do the work. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to do the work. You have to work on yourself. That's the only way we gonna fight and break through.
Right.
Like just even in a short amount of time, I want you to learn, like try to practice some different things to like heal yourself, because that's the only way King Envy is gonna reach that pinnacle.
Yeah, well, for real.
You know, like what about love? I feel like the only way to truly love someone else is if you have to love yourself. How is love in King Envy's life?
Like love in general, just love?
Just in general.
What is love, or how is love?
What is love to you, and how are you coping with love?
I feel like love is hard to find. You know what I mean? I feel like with family, friends, you know who loves you, you know who likes you. You know what I'm saying? It's a big difference. Especially like now, I feel like love it's complicated, but I get a lot of love from people, and I get a lot of fake love.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's different types of love. But love to me is just being able to just find truth in somebody else and find trust.
Right.
And that can go for a regular relationship, or it can go for a family, it can go for anything. Finding trust in somebody and just trusting people.
What is trust if you don't fully trust yourself?
What is trust if you don't trust yourself?
Yeah, what is trust if you don't fully trust yourself? Because how can you ever really give somebody that opportunity for love or the opportunity for trust if you have a barrier up within yourself?
Well, you gotta have faith. Shit.
You gotta have faith. Woo! That's how we gonna close out this interview right there. You gotta have faith. King Envy, if there's anything that you can say to anybody out there, something that is very powerful that you learn along your journey. Just one thing.
I've always said this in every interview. Life is too short to take too long. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Yo, it's your boy King Envy. Follow me on Instagram at I am King Envy, YouTube King Envy, and you're watching Entertainment Therapy with Jackiie LA. I also got a new record out right now. It's called Sweet, featuring my boy HD. I want y'all to run them streams up.
Father God, I want to say thank you for allowing us to come together and allowing Envy to face his truth. I ask that you to continue to guide us and protect us and lead us the way and allow us to use our talents and our creativity for the right purposes only. And if it isn't for us, God, please allow us to see the way through it. And in Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen.